Hey y'all, what is up? How y'all doing? I'm back with another video, and it's mainly, I guess, the video from the video after I was recording today. So I had a real productive day this morning. I had to talk to my teachers. Two of my teachers, but mainly one in the video, and then I got some homework assignments done. Also made some important calls. Update. Definitely got a housing situation in Los Angeles, so I'm on my way there, June 30th. So yeah, everybody in LA, hi, how are you doing? And welcome me to LA. You know. Anyway, so I said I was gonna come back and do a video on um like independent versus codependent, but I don't think I should. It's not really necessary. I think people kind of understand the definition of people that are codependent and people that are like independent, but maybe I should talk about like codependency or independency and like a relationship, because I've been through that. So I'm just gonna say, me personally, I don't like codependent, partners. I can't get with the I'm needy type. I need your attention. I need you to help me with this. I need you to help me with that. And like some areas, I feel like you being my partner, you should be able to be independent. And like, if you like an independent worker, or you just need, hey, I need some advice for this thing I'm doing for work, like give me your feedback. Now that's me, I'm fine with that. But when you need me, oh, can you help me like find a job? And not only can you help me find a job, can you do my resume? Can you do this? Can you do that? I'm like, am I your partner, or am I more like your your social worker or your case manager? So I just feel like when you codependent in a relationship, that can affect your relationship. But in certain areas, like if you're emotionally attached to your partner, like I have, for example, like my partner, my significant other, I feel like she's more codependent on me in like areas of her feelings. Like if she get mad at me over me not hearing her out, or always wanting to get my point across, and even though I heard her, I feel the way I feel, instead of being like, okay, compromise, just think like how she, put yourself in her mindset and how she would feel if y'all get into an argument about something, and you gotta look at it from her perspective. And sometimes I'm like so adamant about how I feel about something. If that's how I feel and I stand on it, that's what I stand on. Is no way I'm gonna compromise if I know I'm in the right. Now, I feel like I compromise so much when I'm in relationships that it'll sometimes look like I'm a pushover, or oh, I can walk all over her. And I had to really stand up for myself in relationships, so they'll know that I'm not getting what I need, and you're not going to make me feel like I am and feel like I have to, keep quiet about my needs. So I feel like in certain areas, I tend to feel like codependent on, the loyalty. Because really, that's what I deserve. I shouldn't have to feel like I'm with somebody who I can't trust, or, oh, would you do me dirty? Would you be cruddy as fuck to me? So I'm more feeling like I'm codependent, and, having expectations of wanting a loyal partner. And I felt like for my partner, she was more codependent on me, like hearing her out and, seeing her point of view. So if you with someone that is just, codependent in every area, I'm just, this is my personal, experience or advice in relationships. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think y'all gonna always run into problems, especially if both of you are codependent in a lot of areas, and you need each other for too much shit, like everyday shit you could do on your own. Like, oh, can you take me to the grocery store? Get the fuck up and get on the bus and go to the grocery store yourself, or just get up and go in the car, go to the grocery store. Go grocery store. Get up and cook for yourself. Like, I have no problem cooking for mine. Like, especially if my partner is showing me you deserving of me getting up cooking for you. But I'm the type of partner, like I'll get up and go work a 8 to 5 shift and get off around like 5:30 or 6 o'clock, and go to the grocery store, get home, clean up my home, cook dinner, get the kids ready, and cook dinner for my partner, make sure, her clothes washed, make sure everything, she need is straight. And that's just how I am. Because some women told me, like, ain't no way in fuck I'm cooking after I got home from a long day of work. My partner gonna be cooking. But I'm like, if y'all both work, especially doing like mornings together and y'all get off in the afternoon, like somebody gonna have to do the cooking. It's not gonna be one of those things like where, oh, I don't feel like cooking and you don't feel like cooking, so who gonna do the cooking? Now my kids are old enough now where they could cook for, themselves. But when they were like toddlers and little and they couldn't cook for themselves, that was one of my things. Like no matter what type of job I had, and I would have like medical assistant jobs. I always had healthcare jobs that would consist of me being up early in the morning. And most of y'all know who work in healthcare, like I work in healthcare. You got mostly morning schedules for certain healthcare jobs. Like they are morning type fields of work. Like, well, there's a few, like the healthcare job I have now as a behavior technician. They have evening schedules, but you can get a morning shift as well. But anybody who know, those shifts run like from 8 to 5, like 8 in the morning, like a 7, 8 hour shift. So if you working in healthcare medical, like you're gonna automatically be tired. You're not gonna want to come home and do much of anything but get some rest and get ready for the next day. And I was doing this like registered nurse, medical assistant, even as a doctor, and I had to work in the ER, and I still come home and cook and do all that. So, but if you have a partner who just all around codependent, don't do shit, you just depending on your wife or your husband to do everything. Oh, I don't cook, I don't clean. Like, I don't even see that relationship lasting, or your partner gonna start feeling like they need to step out because you just need them in too many areas where they could find somebody. Hold on, sorry y'all, my laptop. They could find somebody that's more, that's more independent. That like, okay, I don't have to get up and worry about if he gonna get his ass up and cook or clean his house, or if he gonna get up and go to work and pay some bills. And some of y'all, y'all with people just to say y'all had somebody, and I'm not here for that. I always say I could do bad by my motherfucking self, even if it looked like I'm pressed for somebody, and it ain't even really that. I said everything ain't what it seems, and some things you just should mind your business about because you don't really know about. It's more so you could see me with somebody and assume you just can read into what it is we together for. I'm like, some of the times like you right, and most of the time you wrong. But anyway, if it's one of those, relationships, that's fine too. But you're codependent. Your foundation of being with each other is for the wrong reason, and then both of you are codependent. If your foundation of being with each other is because you're like, if I want to use myself for example, if you would a man that I used to date, and you a woman that feel like, oh, we gonna stay together because we hate Tiffany. Y'all got together for the wrong fucking reasons. Then y'all stand together and y'all both codependent in areas where you should be soaring as an adult and independent, and you feel like you're in a relationship. Just call that, self-trauma. You looking for somebody who's fucked up like you because you fucked up and you don't want to be fucked up alone. That ain't no relationship. Because I never got with my partner off of no bullshit. Like, even if we both weren't single when we first met and started dealing with each other, and then we got out of a relationship, and it seemed kind of sketchy because it was like y'all just broke up with people and y'all now, y'all dating. But we weren't let nobody know we were dating. We were quiet, we were private with it. We just popped out together and shit, and people was putting two and two together. But I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care. I said, this my love life. This my life, period. Ain't nobody gonna make me feel like I need to follow their rules of how to date. Like, this ain't no fucking dating girl code. I don't know what, y'all talking about. I'm just gonna do me. And, my partner felt the same way. But overall, it's like, you need to build a foundation. We got to know each other first. We got to, we did pass judgment on each other first when we first met each other. And then, we passed judgment on who we were dating. Like, I was dating somebody else, she was dating somebody else. And we would pass a judgment on the situation. But I was just, me personally, when I pass judgment on like her ex girlfriend, I would be like, I'm just saying, I'm just saying what I'm saying. I'm just saying what I'm seeing. Like, I'm an honest person. If you ask me, I'm going to tell it. But if you don't ask me, I just say shit, like wanting to help people out because I just hate seeing people get hated on and mistreated by their partner. And it was the same thing for her because she had so much to say. She just was like, yeah, girl, I do not like seeing you with, like that with that person. And, she was right. I hated when people, looked at my relationships and seen shit for what it is and, voice their opinion about it. But if you right, you right. But she saw it for what it is. But so happily, like, just ended that situation and a relationship. And, we got together, but it wasn't off of no, oh, you got somebody, I got somebody, but let's dump them so that we could get together and look like a couple. It wasn't no shit like that. It was more so it wasn't working with who we were with, and we ended things. And then so happily we did like each other, but we left it at friends, and then we started dating. But I never was like off of no bullshit with a female because I wanted her and was trying to get her to break up with her girl. So like I'm more so codependent in areas of things that people would feel like that makes sense to be codependent on, but not areas of like, oh, I get up and take care of my partner in ways like people expect you to take care of your partner. Because I be like, damn, you can't get up and cook a meal for your husband or your wife, and they been at work all fucking day, and then you just sitting around doing nothing, and you can't even make them a good meal. And I'm not talking about no little microwave freezer bullshit. I'm talking about something you put effort into cooking. You went to the grocery store, washed it, seasoned it, and cooked it like these women do on TikTok for their husbands that go to work every day and make them a lunch. Like, y'all want to do the bare minimum and codependent, or the ones that feel like because they go to work and they take care of you, like, oh, still take care of me. Like, that's fine. Like, if that was your job, if you made like a decision that I want to be with this person and take care of them and be their provider, I don't want them to work. Da da da. Y'all, I'm gonna just say this: if it wasn't a rule that you need to come home to a cooked meal, a clean house, or don't expect that from somebody who didn't show you that before you got married. Like, cause they're just not gonna do it. Like, but you committed to that person and knowing how awful that person was. Like, you can't go off of ideas romanticizing your head about how the fuck you want somebody to be, like, through another person. Because the way I, take care of mine, yours might not take care of you like that. Just because, you a gay couple and you doing the damn thing, you see, oh, Tiffany treat hers like, da 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 da. I'm going to do that for mine because that's what I want to do. And that's what I do when I'm in a relationship. And any ex that I seriously dated will tell you like that's really how she is in a relationship. But yeah, so two codependent people like in every area of you just needing assistance and everything, that shit is gonna fall apart. It's no foundation. It's more so I need you, you need me. And I don't ever want to be in a relationship with somebody where I need them. I'd rather be in a fucking relationship with somebody I want. I want you, I don't need you. And I always had a mentality, because if a motherfucker feel like you need them, they'll talk to you and treat you like you need them. It's never one time I was dating somebody where I was in a serious relationship with them where I felt like I was codependent on them. When I felt like I want to get what the fuck I needed, I bounced. Like, but it's people who are staying in a relationship because they're their financial provider, or they feel like, oh, he or she tied to that woman that help everybody, so I'm gonna stay with him because da da da. And that sounds dumb and shallow as fuck. Instead of going out here getting your own grind and getting your own money and getting your own, like, if you're not adding up to what the fuck I need, I'm I'm out. I'm gonna wait on my blessing through God. I'm gonna wait for God to send me somebody good. But people are so fucking awful and hateful, and then like you just trashing relationships altogether. You don't really need a partner because you suck at dating and why should anybody want to date you? Because you're just an awful person. But people do that out of desperation. So you can't, a lot of you, like, I can't wait that long. A lot of people feel like they, can't wait on their, knight in shining armor or their Cinderella or whatever the fuck they feel like is their bad bitch, or they, dream man. Like, because at the end of the day, you dreaming, you romanticizing in your fucking head over what you feel like a relationship is or where it's gonna go. So you literally want to live your fantasy through lies or somebody else's life or somebody else's partner, and instead of leaving that shit where it's at, and then, moving the fuck on. Like, it should never be that hard to move on from somebody or something that's just not serving you no purpose. But people know, like, I don't, I'm an awful fucking person. So you stay with a fucked up person. You stay with a codependent person who don't know how to do much of anything. And then you get mad because you're getting embarrassed that you stayed with somebody for all the fucking wrong reasons, and they're not living up to a standard that you feel is of quality of a trophy wife or a dream husband. Ain't no way in fuck. I said I got to know my partner before, like, really got to know her. We live together, we moved in together and all that. And even before we decide we want to do the serious thing and make it official, I said I don't want to feel like in areas, I'm stronger than you in certain areas and it stay that way. And then in certain areas you're stronger than me and I'm weaker. But, even when we broke up a few times, like, I was fucked up, but I said I still got a family to raise. I still got a career. I still had shit to do. I still had obligations. I could be fucked up about it and even see her in another relationship with somebody. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna move forward. When we broke up a few times and she moved on, I stayed quiet, stayed in the background, I stayed focused on my kids and my career. And I was so focused on that and keeping myself up. She thought I was with somebody because I just made it look like, I was happy and I was with somebody. I didn't trip off what she was doing and who she was with. And to the point, she came back home. She was like, fuck this. I was doing this shit to make you mad and feel some type of way. And, you handle that shit graciously. And, I was mature about it because I'm like, I could literally sit here and break down and be fucked up, but I have to be strong for my kids. Like, my children, I seen women, like, growing up, the women around me, I seen them all the fucking time do everything for a fucking man, cry over a man, go out of your way for a man, go broke for a man, literally give a man the last $5 in their fucking pocket, like, weak ass bitch shit. And I said, why the fuck can you just be a strong ass woman, like, even if you weak shit? Like, why can't you be a strong ass woman or try to look like a strong ass woman? Because a lot of them put on facades in front of me that they was something they wasn't because they want to impress me. But you couldn't really be a strong ass woman and hold your own as a single mother or a single adult that knew how to go out here and get it and don't take your anger out on the kids. Like, I never did that shit, regardless of what problems I had with my baby fathers and how I couldn't stand them or the shit that I went through with them. I never took my anger out on my kids. I never got mad. My baby father started acting crazy. I never went in my daughter's room and started hitting her because I was mad her father and I got into it, or I cussed him out, or I just said a lot of fucked up shit back to their dads. I don't know. I'm just different. But like I said, you codependent, that codependent shit, like, it got to go. Like, people really need to understand it's no foundation in that, it's no love in that. And that's what leads to, I be looking at shows like First 48 or a true crime of a passion or Snapped and shit. Y'all don't understand, like, being with a codependent person and you not happy in a relationship but you won't get the fuck out of it, that leads to serious, crime of passions, like murdering your partner and doing crazy shit to them because you can't accept, like, unattaching or detaching from that person and accepting shit for what it is. And even the ones that do, and then you got the ones that don't want to let go of the relationship and just act crazy like that because they're used to you being around and having your, but for me, I prayed mine, those type of people like exes away, because sometimes, just moving the fuck away and saying I'm done with you is not enough. Like, I literally had crazy ass exes that wouldn't accept it, so I said I'm gonna let God do the work. It's gonna be one of those things where you're not even gonna be able to get to me. But then again, I had people that I never even dated get crazy like that over me, and I'm not even bragging on it, but I'm just like, I couldn't have dated you, even though, you know you, like, I really, like, even though I know I didn't date you, like, and it never was a thing. Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm thinking what I'm saying is because I had somebody get crazy like that, and I never dated them. I never knew who the fuck they was. And I said, and even just with this right here, thinking about that, I'm glad, I never dated you or knew who the fuck you was. Because if I ever did and we were together and shit, I could just imagine how crazy you would fucking be. Some things God is protecting you from. Like, and I feel like I was being protected from those type of crazy as sick as obsession type people, because if I ever had you as a partner, you would have been just as obsessive. And I don't think that is cute either. I think, like, when you get a partner or around somebody and they obsessive over you and worrying about it, and they're clingy and they're needy, I'm like, I hate those type of motherfucking partners too. And just, oh, let me call you, like, you just got off the phone with me like 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago, or texting me. It's like weird ass sick obsession. I don't know. I just see a lot of that on TV as well, and it's weird. And then I had to say a few times to, some, it was just like I was talking, so I was like, you're being weird. It's creeping me out. You gotta learn how to stop being so, like, every 5-10 minutes sending me a text. Like, I really am at work, and if I just talk to you, there's no need to send me a text. It'd be different if, like, 3 or 4 hours go past and you just checking in on me. But when it's like 10-15 minutes apart, I love you. What are you doing? When are we gonna do this? When are we gonna do that? I'm like, just talk to you on the phone, and I just met you, so how the hell you love me? And we just started even a whole conversation. So those type of people, you gotta worry about them, and you gotta watch out for them, those warning signs early on, them red flags. Because if they start out that way and you continue on with them and it gets serious, like, y'all go just keep going as a couple, oh gosh, I just can't imagine, like, the crazy shit that you're gonna experience, especially if y'all moving together under the same space. So the codependency thing, I'm gonna just say, for that, I'm not with it. I feel like in certain areas, yes, I'm codependent with, my feelings and my emotions with my partner, my relationship, vice versa with her. But the best advice I could give you: learn to get out of codependency, learn to be independent in every area, especially with your money. Because when a motherfucker in a relationship with you, and I had a situation experience where I had an ex. Well, I don't even like to classify that person's ex. I, entertained that person, and, like, they literally felt like, because they were working at the moment, you know and they had some type of income and I didn't, they could talk to me crazy or talk to me like I didn't have credentials, like I'm not who the fuck I am and say I am. So with that, like, they took their money, that person took their money, did what they wanted to do with their money, talked to me like, oh, well, technically I work, this is my home, da 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 da. And I'm like, no, it's not for real, not for real in real life. No, it's not. If we did some digging in the federal government documents, they will question a lot. So yeah, you gotta watch out for those people who you with and they kiss your ass when they're down, or they try to act fake humble in front of you when they down, and then when they get up, they get a little bit of something, they start talking to you like you nothing, and you should be grateful they still entertaining you, like you a problem in their life. And it's like, that person's such a problem, you could just walk the fuck out of their life and get the fuck and move right along with a person you feel that is of your standard and your status or your level. So I tell people all the time that, like, it's just certain shit people do when you codependent on them. They talk to you any type of way. I literally was working at Marshall's, and a married couple came in there, and he was being mean to his wife, and he worked. He was the one that had the income, and she was in there. She was getting, I guess she was getting clothes for their son or whatever it was. But he was talking to her like shit, and he had an attitude, and he was like, "So, who paying for this, me or you?" And he said that in front of all of us, and I was like, "Wow, like how do you sit there and embarrass your wife like that and?" Talk to her like she nothing and talk about who paying for it. Like clearly you knew who the fuck was paying for it before you came in the store. Like you had your card and your money. And she just stood there and took it. Like I was like, wow. Couldn't have been me. That's why I said when even, as a couple, I had my own fucking money. I literally go out with my girl, my woman, and I had my motherfucking bank card. I had my credit card. I had, even a little bit of cash on me. Like, cause ain't nobody about to embarrass me like that. Like, even when I would just go on dates, like back when I was dating and single, or a guy asked me out or a girl asked me out. But let me just, but I might as well say guy because y'all already know. Like, I already told y'all about my sexuality and what my preference is. But still, even back when I was dealing with men and guys would take me out, and I couldn't trust like just getting to know them. I just knew I dated men that were like mean and shit, and they weren't nice. So I couldn't trust that they were going to take me out and treat me like, give me like spoiled princess treatment, or just we go somewhere nice, they spend money on me and they don't complain or make me feel like shit. So I always want my own emergency cash money. And if they were driving, I never was the type that like if I didn't trust them, I won't hop in their fucking car. I would Uber to the location of where they told me to meet them or where we were going. But for the most part, if I did, even if I did, I still have my own money. Cause if a motherfucker flip on me or flake on me in public and try to embarrass me, I'm gonna embarrass you right the fuck back. Like who ain't got no money to pay for this meal? Cause I literally went into a motherfucking five-star restaurant with a nigga. It was one. I don't know if it was Ruth Chris Steakhouse or if it was one of them little hibachi Benihana's. I think it was Benihana's, or no, it had to be Ruth Chris Steakhouse. It was one of them little high-end upscale type restaurants that's five-star fine dining, and it's real expensive. And he got the fucking faking, like the waiter got up there to us to our table, and the waiter was asking what we wanted to order. I'm looking at the menu and looking at what I want to get myself. He was like ordering his food, and he was like, waiter, she'll have this and that and that. I'm looking at him. I gave him the most I gave him a nasty ass look like, you're going to order for me. I didn't ask you to order for me and tell me what the fuck I'm going to be eating tonight, and I'm your date, and you asked me that I want to go on a date, and you tell me what the fuck I got to eat. So the waiter looked over at me like, you want to say something? And I gave him a look like, I got this. I turned and looked at him. I'm like, so we didn't discuss that you were going to not only be paying for this meal, but you were going to be ordering my meal. Because if you're going to tell me what I'm going to eat off of this menu, I could just pay for my meal and we, eat my food and I can go. We can end this night real quick. Like I said, do y'all have like little takeout or little takeout containers, like the to-go plates? Because I will take my shit and go. And he was like, oh, nah, I just thought you was one of those type of females that you didn't mind a man taking charge and ordering your food. I'm thinking you full of shit, nigga. Like, either you really don't have enough to pay for this expensive ass meal and you don't want to get embarrassed, or it really was what it was. Like, you either don't have enough to pay for my meal and you scared I'm gonna get something so overpriced on this motherfucking menu that you literally gonna pass the fuck out, or you try and get on my nerve. Like, you literally try to figure out a way to get on my nerves and get on my bad side so we can end the date. But either way, I still got what I wanted off of that menu, but he was mad. Like, I could see it when the bill came. I think it came up to like, cause I'm definitely, because he did that. I said I'm thinking my hand order the most expensive shit on his menu and a bottle of wine, because if you got it like that, you'll pay for it. But you don't ask me on no fucking date and press it out. And I wasn't even trying to fuck with him and go out on no date with him. I just say, okay, I'll give him a chance. He been consistent. He, handled rejection well. Because the first time he tried to talk to me, I was trying to get my attention and my number, and I was like, no. But he worked somewhere not too far from where I think I was going to a fitness center or something over there. A gym. So he worked somewhere not too far from where I was going to the gym. So he'd see me in passing and he'd say hi, and I would speak. I wasn't rude to him. I gave him small talk. I kept it pushing. He asked me for my number one time and I was like, no, I'm just, enjoying being single. I'm having a good time. Like, I don't want nobody right now. Like, but he was like, okay, could we still be cordial? And I see you in passing, I speak. I was like, yeah, I would like that. So he kept that up. He was real consistent with that. And then one day I was like, fuck it, I get my number. It won't hurt. So, we talked for about, I think, a good 3 months. And then I agreed to go on a date with him. But I'm like, if I did all that, you did all that, and we finally on our first date, and you try to play me like that, I ordered the most expensive shit on the menu. I think the meal came up to like both of mine and his. I ordered dessert, I ordered a bottle of wine, and I ordered expensive entree and appetizer. So, excuse me. So altogether, I think he paid like $330 for both our meals together. And I could see in his face he was so irritated and annoyed that he had to pay that much for a meal. I'm sorry, I was looking at my phone. But yeah, he literally was that annoyed he had to pay that much for. I mean, who the hell is this calling me? Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Anyway, telemarketer. Anyway, so like I was saying, yeah, he was so annoyed, like he had to spend that much on a meal, and I'm thinking like, but I knew what I did for a living. I was already back working as a doctor. I was already, making my money back that I felt like, with this shit. But still, like, he really was bothered. He had to spend 300 and some dollars on me, and you wanted to take me out on a date. And this is where he picked for us to eat. He was, I guess, you was trying to impress me with the restaurant instead of thinking of the overall, thing. Like, if I don't have it like that, and I know I don't, I can't afford her, why the fuck I'm trying to impress her with an expensive restaurant? Why not? Why not take me somewhere you can afford this in your price range? I would like, if we would have went to like somewhere like Fridays or Red Lobster, some shit, or Olive Garden. I would have been fine with that. I'm not. I think because and then you know what, he did know like I was a doctor. He seen me somewhere else, like, so happily he came into the ER where I was at, and he needed emergency service. I think he hurt his thumb or something like that, and he seen I was there and I was a doctor. So I guess he was too busy trying to impress me, and the overall thing is like, oh, was she like eating, or was she like going? And I'm like, I'm not even that type of girl. Like, I could eat at a fucking McDonald's on Monday, and Tuesday eat at a Burger King or a Red Lobster. I'm not one of those sucker bougie ass bitches, because I do like the finer things in life, but I'll go out and buy it on my own, or go to a restaurant, an expensive restaurant, and spend that money on my own. But I don't, like I said before, I don't expect no man or no woman to do that for me. I do it for myself first. And then if I get with you and we get there and you want to do that, that's, even better. But trying to go out of your way to impress me, and you codependent on the fact that maybe he didn't budget his money, like he wasn't a good budgeter, or he wasn't a good, you know I don't know. But either way, he felt like entitled to tell me what I'm going to eat, because he felt like he was flipping the bill. But I'm like, baby, this is nothing. I do this, just because. Like, I will get my money right and get my life together and go out and eat a good meal because that's what the fuck I want to do. I'm not here for play. Like, that's my lifestyle. My kids will tell you that's our lifestyle. My mom loved, herself enough to go out here and do it for herself before she asked anybody to spend that type of money on her. But yeah, that experience opened my eyes. I'm like, it's really, now I never had a female do that to me when she took me on a date, but it's really men that feel that way and women that feel that way because they spend some money on you or because they taking you somewhere on their dime. You have to kiss their ass and eat what they tell you to eat and eat what they tell you to eat. I'm like, no. But I, just to be nice, I took him out and I paid for our meal to make it up for him because I seen the discomfort in his face and the confusion of like, what the fuck did I just do? And I just left it at that. We didn't go far. I just took him on a date to show him, yeah, I had my own money and I wasn't tripping. But you could get what you want off of this menu, and that's what I told him. But he was like, "Oh no, I know you're not." He was like, he didn't say it like in an attitude way, but he's like, "Dang, come on, like I know you're not holding me up on when I took you on a date and I made you feel like you had to eat what I was telling you to eat off of the menu. Like, come on." He was like, "I was just testing you." I was like, "Yeah, I know that. But, get what you want. Like, whatever you want on this menu, order it. I don't care how much it costs, just get it." But yeah, after that, he thought I was going to stick around and we fell off. Like, I stopped talking to him. After a while, I stopped going to that fitness like gym over there anyway. I found a new one. I just stopped speaking to him and he felt some type of way about that. He was real salty. He was like, man, somebody told me he was talking shit about me after that because he was in his feelings. I just cut him off. Because I said it was what he did, so more so than anything. You don't tell me when you take me on a date what the fuck I'ma eat and what you want to order me off of the menu. Like I'm a child and you my daddy, or I don't care if you're paying for this meal, because if you're paying for it, you gonna pay for it. But you're not gonna tell me what I can eat unless you on a budget and you explain that. But he didn't do that, and he didn't feel like he should tell me his finances, his business about his finances, which is fine. But don't, if you're not ready to take nobody on a date or you're not prepared to take a female out for something to eat or a good night, like, yeah, don't do it. And then maybe, he probably also felt some type of way because we didn't have sex that night. Like, I'm the type of person, I know, like, it is what it is. We adults, we grown. I don't mind, as long as you clean and I'm clean. And if it's understood before we go out that you going to take me out on a date and we going to go back and you going to, crack my back, whatever. But, I just hate a bitch that, play games with that. Like, I done had so many females tell me stories about how they were mad that they went out on a date and a nigga wanted to have sex with them after the date because he spent money on them on a date. I said, was that the agreement? Like, for him to take you out to a restaurant and spend money on you and then y'all go back and have sex? Because that's an even exchange. I don't look at that as prostitution. I look at that as he took you somewhere and spent his money. He didn't have to do that. Now, if he was treating you like shit the entire time on the date, then yeah, feel some type of way and get mad. Like, fuck you, I'm not fucking you. But if he was a whole gentleman, he spent $300-400 on you. He didn't complain. He let you eat what you want off of the menu. And all he wanted to do was smash after. Like, as long as he clean, his dick not burning, why couldn't you agree to give him sex? Like, what you saving your coochie for? Little Ray Ray up the street and he ain't doing shit? A bum ass nigga, all because he cute. He got dreads and grills in his mouth and a whip he using off his other baby mama. Like, come on now. It's hard to find chivalry in 2026, especially with dudes. It is hard to find a guy that'll take you out and spend his hard-earned money and don't complain about it. And dude was employed. Dude had a good job. He had a nice home, a nice car. He just took her out on a date. He thought she was pretty. And she didn't feel like she should give him sex because he offered to take her out on a date. And she shouldn't feel like she had to give her body up to a man because he took her out on a date. So I said, okay, How many dates you been on since then? Because it's hard, like, especially when they're in a certain age range and these young boys, they're around my son age. Christ is like 16, 17 now. So I'm just gonna say from the 16, the youth to like 25, like these young dudes, they real entitled now. And they feel like you should kiss their ass, you should do for them, you should make them feel like they everything, no shade to my son. But you know, they're not showing chivalry no more. They're not out here like, taking women on dates, opening doors for them. Like, if I even have, like, here at this school, when I come into the dormitory and a guy will open the door for me, I thank them because it's hard, to even find one of them around here opening the door for me. I respect that and I appreciate that because some females, they not going to say shit. They going to feel like, oh, that's something you should be doing for me because I'm a female. So just rude ass bitches. Don't know how to say thank you. Don't know how to take a compliment and say thank you. Keep it pushing. Just feel entitled to somebody opening the door for them or carrying their bags for them. Yes, it's a gentleman thing to do. It's chivalry shouldn't be dead, but it's hard to find that, especially coming from a guy. So yeah, and she didn't have her own money, and I'm like, what's so wrong with going back and having a good time with somebody as long as they not burning with nothing and they not offering no creep shit. So I'm like, I think people don't know how to be grown about certain shit because I'm like, that wouldn't make you a hoe because you had sex with somebody on the first night. It's still some. I'm gonna say this. I didn't sleep with my partner on the first night, but when my girl took me on a date, when my partner, she took me out on a date, we went on our real first date. Um we I went back to her crib. We didn't have sex, but we laid up. And we did, kiss a little bit and all that other stuff. But I swear we didn't have sex. But we did have sex before like the 6 month mark. Like we were like only dating a month and we were, I think maybe like a month into dating her, we had sex. When we first started dating. But it didn't make a difference. 'Cause I'm like, if you gonna stay together, you gonna stay together. If y'all not gonna be together, if it was just an arrangement of going out, like what the fuck? People that consider themselves, women that consider themselves sugar babies, they wealthy men with money, they did the same shit. It's just like, even the movie with Julia Roberts, Pretty Woman, like it's not so much you had sex with a man on the first night, is how you handle the situation. A lot of bitches insecure about being hoes or looked at it like as a hoe. Because if y'all gonna stay together, y'all gonna stay together. Like sex would make, or break like the situation of how they felt, because they knew how they felt about you before they took you on a date or before you had sex with them. So I just say, yeah, with that, like I hate when a bitch like play games like that, or you go back. I even tell my daughters, if you at that age now where they're dating, they like boys and shit, if his idea of having a good time is a Netflix and chill, and I know what the fucking Netflix and chill is. I was doing this back in 2008 when I told my daughter, I said I was doing this back in 2008 when I was dating your father. So I know what a Netflix and chill is. And if you're not ready for no Netflix and chill, you don't need to be chilling nowhere. And her father was like, yeah, you don't need to be chilling no motherfucking way. Y'all too young to be chilling. Like, the only thing I need to be doing is homework together and really working on them damn grades. But still, Anyway, but still, like, you go back to a dude crib and what the fucking Netflix and chill is, or if I'm gonna lay up and smoke with you and we watching TV, we might order something to eat. I already know what to expect. Most likely next, we're gonna have sex. So I just hate when a female goes to somebody home, offers like a nigga home, offers some bullshit like, oh, he wanted to have sex and I thought we were just coming over to talk. No, come on now. Because if you can talk over the phone. Especially like one time when I went over my ex's house, I got off my shift I had bought my little night bag to work with me, and I had got off of my shift at like 1 or 2 in the morning. I was texting him, like my ex, all night. Like, I'm coming through, coming over your house. We gonna kick it. I'm gonna chill with you and shit. And he was like, yeah, okay. I didn't sit up there and be like, oh, what we gonna do when I get there? Like, I'm coming over your crib at 2 in the morning. Clearly, when I get off my shift, I'm trying to lay up with you and have sex. So I hate that. I remember he told me that he had invited a girl over his house around that time, and she was acting like like she was stuck. She didn't know that he really was trying to have sex with her. Like, she thought she was just coming over there to talk to him. And I said, at 2 in the morning, at 2 in the fucking morning, you believe that somebody is just coming over here, you just coming over here to talk to him at 2, 3 in the morning. These are the hours that people are asleep. So you believe at 2 or 3 in the morning you get an invite over a nigga house that you just there to talk about what? Yeah, so I said I can't with the little girl mentality, like just stupid bitch shit. Like, don't ever be that woman that do or think childlike shit like that. Like, the first thing people would think, have you ever been in a relationship before? Have you ever really dated or been really with somebody, like living under the same roof, like going out together? Claiming each other. Like, start with the little child shit, the high school shit. Like, act like you dated and you know what the fuck is up before. Like, females that do that piss me off. Like, even the ones it's like, sis, if you fucked before, you had sex before, even if you haven't been claimed by nobody before, guy, whatever, even if you have, stop acting like you never been in a relationship and you just shit like that. You never done nothing like that. Like, even if you don't want to tell your business that your business ain't for everybody. Some females are very like, I'm too classy. Yeah, that's fine, but don't act like you don't have hoe in you, because it's embedded in every female. I don't give a fuck who you are. Even our daughters we raising, it's embedded in their spirit to be like that. So don't ever sit up there. Like, my daughters, they do their thing in their own little way. Even with the way they dress, they're growing up, they're learning, they're just understanding, trying to tap into their femme sexuality and just being sexy and being, young, like learning themselves. But stop acting like you never did no shit. Like, you didn't, like, went over a nigga house 3 or 4 in the morning and got your little back cracked open and shit, and went home. Like, everybody, if you a real bitch and you really, done been in and done that, even the most classy ones, the ones that look conservative, every female that really didn't live, then had a little one night stand and check that off of their little bucket list. We didn't order our little thing in our own way. So I just hate a female that really be like, oh, he wanted me to come over. I thought we were talking. He was wanting to have sex and I wasn't ready for that. So why the fuck you gonna go over his house? If you're not ready to have sex, and most of them niggas, they're young and they're horny and that's on their mind, why go over their house? Even 3 in the morning. I call you and tell you I'm coming over, I know we fucking. If even my, just the woman that I'm with, like, when we were offer some just friends with benefits, she'd hit me up, be like, you coming through? It was like 3 in the morning. I knew what the fuck was up. I was like, yep. And it took me less than 10 minutes. It usually take me an hour when I was dating guys, like, to get to their place. It took me it took me 10 minutes. She literally, I would say, because we didn't live that far from each other at that time when we were friends with benefits. She hit me up, like, I think it was 3:15. It took me 10 minutes, 20, I don't know, 5, 10, hold on. 20, 25. It took me like around like the 3:45. It took me 3:45 to get in the car and get to her crib. And she hit me up at like 3:15 and was like, you trying to come over? So, even with that, even the gay couples and the gay girls, like, even, be grown about it, be mature. Because some bitches be like, no, why I'm coming over this early in the morning? Like, come on now. You know what's up. And I knew what was up. That's why I came over. That's why I hurried up. But if it was a guy, I probably would have waited like forever. I probably would have been like, yeah, I'm on my way. But it probably took me a whole hour to get over there. But yeah. Anyway, So just, that, like, I don't know how I got into this conversation. Hold on. I'm not liking the way. Ugh. I'm sorry, y'all. I just was not liking the way I brushed this hair. It will, and I did it. Uh, I always do this in my. Uh, we gonna leave it like that. And no, my hair is not sticking up my ear. That's my ear. So I don't want y'all to be like, I see a track. Even if you did, so up to what? I'll just reglue it back down. Anyway, so yeah, like I just don't know how I guess it is, topic. But either way, like the codependency thing, is really not cute altogether, but you know, it's no foundation. It's not gonna work out if you codependent in areas where you should be more independent. If that's something y'all could work on as a couple, that's fine and all, but like somebody should be getting better at it. But even just that, like when you codependent on your partner or just people in general, it makes it a lot harder in areas of your life where you should be soaring. Because me personally, I don't like being codependent on nobody, especially with career, especially if I need something for my livelihood, and I have to, like, literally by law or procedures of anything getting into programs, I have to wait on a case manager, I have to wait on this, I have to wait on that, school policies, all that. So I hate that, but that's a part of my life. Like, that's a part of, you have to deal with, being codependent on this because that's how you get into this program or that. But your love life, you know, I just wouldn't want to be codependent in an area where I feel like I could get up off my ass and make it happen, because people treat you differently when you need them or just too needy, or like I said, it was his money. The guy felt like I should eat what he tell me to eat. And you know I pride myself on being independent and being an independent. I say and being an independent woman, and being, like in areas where I need resources, I reach out to people. I will express what I need and advocate for myself, because I know those resources are slim to none, especially with the housing and everything. But yeah, I, got the resources that I needed. But as far as like, just waiting around for people to do for me, nobody is going to do for you more than you will do for yourself. If you don't make it happen on your own, and I had to learn this at a young age, because I had so many people make me false promises and they did not come through. But when it was my turn for them, they were like, oh, she said she was going to do this, she said she was going to do that. And some of them were capping, because I never said anything that I would do anything for them. But the ones that I did, I'm like, look how that turnaround look how now when the shoe's on the other foot and the rabbit got the gun, it ain't no fun. You literally need me the way I was waiting on your support, and now you have to wait and you on my time and you're complaining instead of like, if she get around to doing it, thank you. If she don't, understood, because I took my time when it was her turn and she was in need of needing, support. Now it's my turn and I'm getting the same treatment, or I'm getting put on the back burner. I can't handle it. You should be able to handle whatever the fuck you dished out, especially if you showing that you the type of person that you really not good at, supporting people. You just want people to support you. So yeah, that goes back into dealing with people that are that are like, when they down, they try to be fake humble, but when they up, they talk shit, and then when they down again, they want to go back to, oh, let me act fake humble, let me kiss her ass or his ass, let me keep my mouth closed. It should always been closed. I think people got the wrong idea about me, or get the wrong idea, and they think that I do the same thing. Like, even in this situation, because a lot of them think like, oh, she down now, she talked all that shit, and she trying to be fake humble because she need help. But when she get back there, I'm like, I've been the same way I've been at this status, or whatever you considering or saying in your head or out loud, whatever the fuck. If I'm always humble, but the same way I talk now will be the same way I talk when I'm where I want to be and elevated in life. And it don't, nothing, going to stop me from opening my mouth and speaking my truth, because that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm putting these places for. And really, to be honest, they need to hear me speak like this, because if I imagine me being the status that I'm on and being who the fuck that I am, and I come back in places like this, I keep my mouth closed, and everything was just quiet and secretive. Nobody knew what the fuck I had going on at all. They didn't hear me, talk. They didn't hear nothing. It was just quiet. Everybody thinking what they thinking. Nobody said shit about me. And then I go about my business, and shit just start getting fucked up, and they don't know what to do. And the first thing people will say if they made calls, like, what, and Tiffany Brooks just there? Then why didn't you ask her about X, Y, and Z? Because this relates back to her. It relates back to the person that y'all want to stay silent or keep her mouth closed. So if I do what's asked of me, like, it's times I kept my mouth closed, I'm like, it don't benefit me. It's more like you want me to talk, but you do it in a way where, let me put people around you that irritate you or frustrate your situation, so you can say it instead of us coming to you and asking directly. So if I, even in situations like that, if I kept my mouth closed, like, how would you be able to help yourself, like, in your place of employment or places of business or just organizations like this? Because I keep my mouth closed, and it might have to come back to me that, oh, they want funding for da da da. Will you do this and that? I'm like, nobody said nothing to me. Nobody, my mouth was closed because everybody else's was closed. I was always told, closed mouth don't get fed. You know, and if you want to put it in whole terms, closed legs don't get fed either. But I was just saying with that. But I've been talking for like a whole freaking hour now. I took a break from my classwork. Now I'm about to get back to my classwork. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. The codependency thing, the independent thing. I think I'm not going to say give it a cancel culture, but I think if you are a codependent person, you could work to improve, being a codependent person, work on trying to be less codependent and more independent. Because the more independent you become, the better in life you have with opportunities of just things that you will miss out on being codependent. Like, I even realized that, a few times. A few things that I used to be codependent on, I was missing out on a lot of opportunities that was coming my way because I was codependent in that area. And then when I got more independent and stopped being codependent in that area, a lot of opportunities that I missed the first, second, third time around, it came back around, by the grace of God, finally again for me. And, I was able to elevate the way I wanted to in that area. And, some people really, when you miss your mark, depending on how mean you are or how good of a person you are, when you codependent and you miss your mark, you miss it. God not bringing that back around a third or fourth or fifth time. Like, you ain't getting no genie, make a little, magical wish or a lucky charm and throw that in the damn fountain, and you get a miracle wish. Like, when you miss your mark, you miss it. It ain't coming back around. You're going to have to just deal with your, karmic cycle and whatever the fuck, God have down the line for you, because that ain't coming back. So I just learned, through that, stop being so codependent. But if y'all took anything away from this conversation, just, like, being independent is the best thing ever. When you have your independence, you have everything, your faith in God, your family, your self-love for yourself. So, yeah, that's all I just wanted to say. Everybody, you all have a great day. Drink your water, fast, pray, meditate, love yourself first, then love somebody. Love somebody. Y'all take care. Have a great day. Oh, don't forget to drink your water. I'm almost done mine. So, also drink your water. Y'all have a great day. I love you all. Mwah. Bye.